Oh, I was not on the right stream to start. You got a 1 second spoiler. I'm so sorry about that. All right, now we can be fine. Hello. We're gonna read Faust. I read all of part 1 over the past while. Now I'm going to be reading part 2. Initially, I wasn't sure if I was going to because I heard it wasn't really necessary, but I feel as though part 1 didn't really end on a resolution. So I feel like it's less this is a sequel, more so this is the end game to Faust's Infinity War. It's like it's actually a part 1, part 2 of the same story. Hey, I can. They were agony, so you couldn't make it to any streams. I'm so sorry about that. But you're here now. And if you were so inclined, you could catch up with the previous ones. If not, I'm so sorry that you're going to feel so lost. We read like a third of Faust over the past 2 weeks. But yes, so my goal is I'm gonna have to end in like an hour and a half. I have a pretty strict time limit today. But oh my gosh, my voice. But ideally, I can grind through this. The chapters won't be too long, and then I'll be done with Faust. And my goal after this is I will then start my normal Wednesday, Saturday streams by reading a chapter from something, whether it's Moby Dick or it is Dracula or Frankenstein or any other 19th century literature that is public domain. And then on Fridays, I'll have a productivity stream for members first. So instead of an entire stream dedicated to me reading something, an entire stream dedicated to me programming the visual novel that we started on stream like a year ago, which I haven't had a chance to work on, and I've worked on a little bit off stream. I just don't have the time. I might write on stream. I might work on a TTRPG on stream. And I feel like that would be a good way to not just keep myself productive, but also give something special to members first. Like how do we feel about that? I feel like that could be fun. I have cold, hot chocolate and unsweetened tea. I can do the most vile culinary thing anyone has ever done. Listen, all I'm going to say, think about how satisfying it will be to take your chocolate and put it in your tea. It will melt like that one chocolate gorilla meme. Like, it's literally just this. It's you put the chocolate in the really hot milk, and then it starts to melt into it, and then he fades, and he is gone. But yeah, so my goal is wrap up Faust today in like an hour and a half. And then start up a new story to start doing like opening each stream. Basically, the goal would be if it's a 80 chapter book, I would read a chapter, maybe 2 at the start of every stream, just to kind of let people file in. And then I would, after that chapter is up, I would hop onto something else. And I might do on Wednesdays on YouTube, I do one. On Saturdays, I do a second different ones, like Dracula on one day, Frankenstein on another. If you're watching the VOD, let me know. I need to know these things if this would interest you, or if I should just drop the online readings altogether, right? Anyway, Faust, a Tragedy, Part 2, Act 1. I like that idea. Opens up the stream to more structured stuff. Yeah. Faust reclining in a flowery meadow, wearied and restless, trying to sleep. A troop of elves flitting toward him. Graceful little forms. Oh gosh, it's the Fae from that one mountain that he went to that time with Lilith. It was like the Dracula newsletter thing. The Dracula news does sound like it would be fun to do. Like every single day on stream. Only when it is appropriate, we would read the Dracula newsletters. When the springtime scattering flowers robes in verdure hill and glen, with green meadows bright with showers, gladden all the sons of men. Little elves, where spirits languish, haste their troubled fears to still. They are grieved by mortals' anguish, be the mourner good or ill. Ye, who in any circles round him flat, here show you ye are elves of noble note. Soothe and to calm his heart's distressful fray, pluck out the burning arrows of remorse, wash from his spirit all its past dismay. Night hath 4 period in her solemn course, now fill them up kindly without delay. Pillow his head on yon cool bank, and then bathe him in dew from Lethe's streams. Anon will his cramp-stiff limbs relax again, when all refreshed he wakes with the dawn. Do the elves fairest hest aright, restore him with the blessed light. All right, so the elves are getting involved, and they're going to make it so that Faust is less upset over the death and insanity of Margaret, who he drove insane by killing her brother because she was assumed to be in on it or something. Fey witchery, I don't know. That's this entire story. When across the emerald meadows warm and fragrant breezes play, closing round in misty shadows, softly falls the twilight gray. Whispers gently peace to mortals, rocks the heart to childlike rest, closes up the daylight's portals to those wearied eyes unblessed. Now the night is deeply darkling, gleams out hallowed star on star, lights of power faintly sparkling, twinkle near and gleam afar. In the lake they sparkle tender, gleam in yon clear vault profound, reigns the moon in full orbit splendor, perfecting the peace around. See, the hours of night have vanished. Joy and grief have passed away. Wake, rejoice! Thy pain is banished. Trust the new advancing day. Vales grow green, hills steep and steeper, shadows deepen thick with leaves, and the harvest to the reaper in long, silvery billows heave. Fix thy gaze in yonder glory. Wouldst thou win, thy wishing keep? Frail the spell that resteth o'er there, fling over the husk of sleep. Though the crowd grow pale and waver, onward thou, with dauntless soul, gallant heart is baffled never, striving to a noble goal. A tremendous clangor indicates the approach of the sun. Ah yes, because every single morning, a massive clangor reverberating throughout the sky, as if the world and the sky were one massive blue painted cavern with which the spider that is the sun crawls across the ceiling. Someone write that down. That'd be a really cool setting. The entire world is one massive cavern underground, and the sun in the sky is a massive spider that just has bioluminescence that sheds a massive amount of light, and so it crawling across the... We might be cooking. Hark! The ringing hours of morn, pealing unto spirit ears. Lo, another day is born. Lo, another dawn appears. Adamantine gates are crashing, Phoebus car wheels rattling, clashing. What clang harbingers the sun? Trump and clarion pealing clear, dazzling eye and stunning ear. Hence, our elfin reign is done. Slip into your flowery cells, couch in lone untrodden dells, to the clefts and thickets come. Day, with all your powers benumb. Life's pulse dance with fresh and bounding pace, the ethereal splendors of the dawn to greet. Thou, earth, thou too this night didst hold thy place, and breathest with new vigor at my feet. Bidst joy even now within my breast grow rife, and high resolves doth stir with kindling heat, to scale life's topmost heights through toil and strife. Now lies the world in morning's twilight beam, the woodland rings with 1,000-voiced life, all through the valley misty hazes stream, yet to its depths doth heaven's clear radiance creep. And, bathed in freshness, wood and thicket gleam, from dewy clefts where lay sleep. The glades are dappled with 1,000 dyes, where flowers and leaflet trembling pearls do weep, and all around grows fair as paradise. Aloft the giant peaks, far gleaming bright, proclaim the hour at hand, that fires the sky. They feel the first flush of the eternal light, that finds its way betimes to us below. Now o'er the green slopes of yon alpine height, the advancing splendors spread a livelier glow, and, step by step, it gains the lower ground. Lo, the broad sun, and blinded with the flow that stings the shrinking sight, I turned me round. So, when a hope, by long devotion fanned, hath won the height of its desire and found fulfillment's portal wing-like wide expand. But now you, from yonder depths, eternal leaps, a whelming burst of flame, amazed we stand. Life's torch we fain illumine there. When sweeps a sea of fire around us, eddying fast. Is it love? Is it hate? That round us hotly creeps, with joy and pain in alternation vast, so that one more to earth we turn our gaze, and shrinking childhood's mantle round us cast. So then behind me let the sunbeams blaze, the waterfall that down yon chasm is roaring. I view my deepening rapture and amaze, now in a myriad broken runlets pouring. It bounds from ledge to ledge, and, shattering there, shoots up, in spray of filmy vapor soaring. Yet, o'er this turmoil, how divinely fair, the rainbow's many-tinted arches wound, now penciled clear, now melting into air, a dewy cool diffusing far around. A mirror this of mortal coil and strife, and there, if well thou ponderest, will be found, in glowing hues revealed, a type of life. Okay, so Mans got so torn up over a bad breakup, and then it took him one night's sleep where he woke up with the sun rising, and he was like, okay, I'm over her. Like, yes, I understand the Fae were involved, but you just got Spider Rider vibes. It's real. I thought it was a fever dream all these years, and now it's real and haunting me again. Listen, childhood as an article of clothing you outgrew is wild. And I feel like that's, I've heard that used before. The idea of like growing out of, like, not just literally growing out childhood, but also the idea of it being clothing that you outgrow. And that adds that adds to the metaphor where if you are someone who doesn't let go of your childhood, you might still be wearing your childhood clothes. They still fit. You might have had your childhood ripped away from you. Like you had to grow up really early. So you might have had your like childhood clothes forcibly changed very early in life. Like I feel like it's a metaphor I've heard before, but it is still wild. Private council met in expectation of the emperor. I assume this is like the spirits in the Fae. Enter courtiers of every rank in magnificent dresses. The emperor sends the throne. On his right hand, the astrologer. I greet the liegeman, true and dear, met here from near and distant lands. My sage, I see, beside me stands. But why, my fool, is he not here? Sir, on your royal train he stumbled, as we came upon the stair and tumbled. They bore Sir Corpulence away, or dead or drunk, who is to say? And what we were passing strange, apace another steps into his place. The dress he wore is rich and rare, but so grotesque, it makes folks stare. The guards, their halberds raised before, their fellow as he reached the door, as coming contrary to Tool. But see, he's here, the forward fool. What is accursed, yet welcome ever? What is desired, yet kept at bay? What do men turn their backs on never, yet spanned and railed at day by day? Whom dost thou dare not summon here, whose name in all men's ears is sweet? Who to the very throne draws near, yet is self-banished to retreat? Friend, for the nonce your jargon spare. Here riddles out of place are sadly. They're these gentlemen's affair. Resolve them, and I'll listen gladly. My former fool, I fear, has lost his head. You take his place, and come up here instead. Wow, the job market really has changed. A new fool, so new plague begins. Where comes he from? How came he in? The old one tripped, used up, past saving. He was a fat, here's now a shaving. So now, my liegemen, whom I love, be welcome all from far and near. Beneath auspicious stars you've gathered, for us our joy and weal writ there above. But say, why at a time when we from every care would be fain be free in mumming, mask, and revelry, to take our fill of pure delights, should we be plagued with setting state affairs to rights? Speak since you're clear they will not brook delay, then be it so, and have it your own way. Virtue supreme that in an areola? Virtue supreme that aureole? Virtue supreme that like an aureole bright circles the emperor's brow, his royal hand alone can exercise by sovereign right. Justice, what all men love, what all demand, all long for, and without it scarce may live. This to his people, 'tis his part to give. But what avails clear head, or kindly heart, or ready hand to play the patriot's part, when the state's torn by feverish disquiet, and mischief runs in breeding mischief riot? The whole broad realm, below to us, doth seem from our high vantage point a nightmare dream, where forms misshapen are in chaos bent, where lawlessness makes law its instrument, and error and delusion everywhere are rampant, and infect the very air. One steals a flock, a woman one, cross, chalice, candles from the altar, brags through the years of what he's done, nor gets his neck into a halter. Now, to the court the accusers throng, the judge in cushioned state sits proud, in surging eddies rolls around, tumultuously the clamorous crowd. Yet dreads the criminal no ill, who in accomplices has friends, and guilty is the sentence still, where innocence on itself depends. So will the world in time be wrecked? Truth, honor, virtue perish quite? How should we there the sense expect? Alone can guide us to what's right. A man not ill deposed, in time to flattery or to bribes will fall. A judge who cannot punish crime, go partner with the criminal. My sketch I've drawn of blackest hue, yet fain had kept it from the view. Steps must be taken, and error long. When all or do or suffer wrong, there's danger even to the throne. Okay, that one's just like... This one's just too real. This one is just too representative of the modern day. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Aureole, a halo of light, also another term for areola. Oh my gosh. Oh, the mad days we're living. All men are taking blows are given. Obedience is a thing unknown. The sit behind his moated wall, the noble in his rocky nest, combine at bay to keep us all, each holding stoutly by the rest. Our mercenaries restive grow, demand their hire with angry cry. Yet, if 'twere all paid up, we know they'd bolt and never say goodbye. To say what all men hast debarred is to disturb a hornet's nest. The kingdom they should shield and guard is ravaged, plundered, and oppressed. None try to curb the rabbit rout. Already half the world's undone. Kings still there be, a few about. But no one thinks 'tis his affair, not one. Who'd pin his faith upon allies? Our funds they say they'll subsidize, but at the source their bounties stop and leak through to us, drop by drop. Trickle down economics? Again, sir, who your wide realm through keeps what his fathers left him, who? Wherever we turn, some new man's in the ascent, and will, forsooth, be independent. Do what he may, however absurd or wrong, we must not say a word. We have surrendered rights so many, we have not left ourselves with any. Our so-called parties in the state, there's no dependence nowadays. Whether they rail at us or praise us, we prize alike their love and hate. Wow. Your gibbeling, so you too gulp, greedy of ease, gets out of reach. What man now helps his neighbor? Each is only thinking of himself. The golden gates are barred. Men screw and scrape and snatch and hoard and pile, and our checkers empty all the while. Like, this isn't even stuff that's just kind of similar. This is stuff that is like actively issues of the modern day. They're not reminiscent. They're the same issues. Holy heck. What plague besets my office too? We're trying day by day to save, yet each day brings me more calls for more, and cares and worries new and grave. The kitchen never lacks good store. Stags, wild boars, leverets, hinds, and hares, fowls, turkeys, geese, and ducks in pairs. Payment in kind, whatever may hap. Come duly in to fill a gap. But now our wine is running low. Butts upon butts we once did own. All the best growth, the finest years, piled in the cellar, tears and tears. But our great nobles round the throne, slaking a thirst that knows no stop, are draining them to the last drop. Even the town council, are not able to keep their stores untapped. They fly to bowl and beaker, drain them dry, till the sots sink beneath the table. Now I, perforce, must pay for all. The Jew won't spare me. He presents his bond of credit that forestalls the produce of the next year's rents. Our very pigs we cannot fatten, the pillows pawn them off the bed, and what to table comes in forehand-eaten bread. Well, so, to my understanding, it was a actual literal historical practice where it may have been a Catholic thing, it may have been a Christian thing, I think it was probably a Catholic thing, where you were not allowed to lend money and require payment. So there was like an actual system where particularly Jewish people would be responsible for money lending, basically to circumvent Christian doctrine. And like this was because Christians would basically have them act as an intermediary so they could receive interest, and then the Christian would also get money off the top of it because they didn't do it. So, I mean, that is dated. I don't think that's offensive, to my knowledge. Like, if it is, I'm sorry, but as far as I'm aware, that's not like making a judgment. That's just kind of referencing a historical practice, which is obviously really yikes, but I don't think it's quite as bad as some of the other words we've come across. At least that's my understanding of it. Have you no grievance, fool, to bring us pardon? Not to bring us pardon? Not I, indeed. Viewing this grand display, thee in thy court, full thrust who must not feel, where kingship holds indisputable sway, and, backed by ready force, makes foreman real. Where loyal hearts, strong through conviction clear, and energy to act are ever near, who could wrong or purpose dark unite? What stars are shining so supremely bright? He is a knave, a shrewd one too. He lies, but with an end in view. I'm sure there's something lurks behind. Somewhat. Some scheme to cheat the blind? Okay. You're not very clever. Like, he lies, but with an end in view? Yeah. Most people lie for a reason. Very few people lie without purpose. Like, me, I'm compulsively honest. I say things that I shouldn't say all the time. However, if I am going to lie, it's because I want to make something funny. I will like lie to my friend to screw with them, and then I'll tell them the truth afterwards because I don't want to be a jerk. But like, if you're lying to like get ahead of someone, if you're lying to hide incriminating information you don't want to get out, those are all views with an end. Those are all ends with a view. I thought murmur was a character for a second and not just the murmur of the crowd. So like, people are stupid. Like, persons are smart. People are stupid, by and large. Like, a good rule of thumb is whenever you have a group of people, collectively, they will be dumber than all of them individually. Intelligence is additive. Wisdom tends to be subtractive, right? It tends to be when you have a group of people together, they're going to act less wise, but they can solve problems. Like they will be able to solve problems none of them could solve individually, but they're going to make worse decisions, by and large. Where lacks not something in this earthly sphere, here this, there that, his coin is lacking here. Not from the floor can it be scraped, no doubt. Still, wisdom draws what hid most deeply out. In mountain lodes, in walls far underground. Gold, coined and uncoined too, is to be found. And ask you, what can bring it to the light? Some gifted man's nature and spirit might? Nature and spirit, no words for Christian men. For this they burn your atheists now and then. As such, talk is extremely dangerous. Nature is sin, spirit the devil. Thus they gender doubt betwixt them, that deformed hermaphroditic brat. What? I've been called a lot of things. I've been called slurs before. I haven't been called a deformed hermaphroditic brat before. Yeah. When you put 3 or more people, their collective intelligence is roughly the mean square root of the group. Smarter than any one of them, but nowhere near as smart as just adding them up. Yeah. This sort of thing won't do. Our emperor's ancient kingdom, though, 2 orders have sprung up and only 2, the clergy and the nobles, and they make a sure stay for his throne, and seemingly guard, defying every tempest, so they take the church and state for their well-earned reward. There's a rebellious spirit brewing amongst the vulgar and the bad, all heretics and wizards doing, who are driving town and country mad. And now, with ribald jests you begin to assail the men who move in this high sphere? Hearts rotten at the core to you are dear, for they to fools are very nigh akin. I see, scholar sir, in what you say. What you touch not, for you lies miles away. What you grasp not, no being has for you. What you count not, your clear cannot be true. What you weigh not, has neither weight nor size. What you coin not, is worthless in your eyes. Our needs are nowise to be lightened thus. Your Lenten sermon, what is that to us? I'm sick of the eternal how and when. 'Tis cash we want, hard cash, so get it then. Also, now that we're pretty solidly in just like AB rhyme scheme, or like AABB rhyme scheme pretty consistently, this is just like edgy Dr. Seuss. This is just edgy Dr. Seuss. Like, imagine Dr. Seuss artwork, but it's an emperor talking to the devil and saying, our needs are nowise to be lightened thus. Your Lenten sermon, what is that to us? I'm sick of the eternal how and when. 'Tis cash we want, hard cash, so get it then. Well, with my flambloozler here, we shall find this coin amuck, and see, you know, Emperor dear, that we shall find under floorboards tucked. Like, the kind of idea where it's just like the silly, like, thrust of whimsy. Deformed hermaphroditic brat just sounds like 1800s version of geeky bedrotten girl failure. I don't know. I feel like there's probably been at least one Victorian there's been at least one Victorian trans woman who got called that by her partner and was super into it. Yeah, you like that, you deformed hermaphroditic brat. All you desire I'll get and more, so please ye. The task is light, and yet though light not easy. The gold is there, but how to haul it in? That calls for skill, who knows how to begin? Only reflect in the dark days, when tides of men swamped countries and their folk besides. How he in the first panic scare hid what he prized most deeply anywhere. So was it under Rome's imperial sway, so on to yesterday, aye, to today. It all lies hidden in the soil the emperor's is, and he shall have the spoil. Well, for a fool he does not talk amiss, the emperor's ancient right undoubted this. For you spread Satan's golden snares, you'll do what is unrighteous and unholy too, so that he only brings us gifts of price. How about unrighteousness? I shan't be nice. Shrewd fool, to polish what by all is sought, the soldier won't inquire whence it was brought. And if, belike, you think I'm talking fudge, there's the astrologer, let him be judge. Cycle on cycle, hour on house, he knows. Say, sir, what do the heavenly signs disclose? A pair of knaves, confederates clear, fantast and fool, the throne so near. An old fool, an old story, stale with age. As the fool prompts, so speaks the sage. Gold of the purest is the orb of day. Mercury the herald serves for grace and pay. Dame Venus hath bewitched you, one and all. On you all hours her loving glances fall. Chaste Luna's full of chaste Luna? Huh. I never knew that Luna, like the moon, was associated with, like, feminine chastity. Which I suppose Venus being tied to, like, Aphrodite, Venus, love, intimacy in that sense, would make more sense to have unchasteness, promiscuity. But and Luna also is very feminine coded. Like the moon has always been a very feminine symbol. I didn't realize it was chaste. I didn't realize it was tied to like abstinence, which like with Artemis, for instance, is someone who Artemis being tied to the moon or Selene being tied to the moon. Various interpretations in like Greek myth. There is that kind of virgin goddess, which would make sense for like a chastity of Luna, but I don't know. Just wasn't expecting that. Chaste Luna's full of whims and fancies light. Mars, though he strikes not, awes you with his might, and Jupiter shows the loveliest star of all. Saturn is great, far to the eye and small, him lowliest mongst the metals do we rate, trivial in value, ponderous in weight. But mark, when Sol and Luna come together, and gold mates silver, then 'tis the finest weather. Straightaway, one gets whatever else one seeks, parks, palaces, plump bosoms. I thought that was, like, plum blossoms. And I was like, huh? Parks, palaces, plump bosoms, rosy cheeks. All this is wrought by the most learned man, who can achieve what none amongst us can. His words ring it double in all they say, but they convince me not they. An idle tale, just worn and stale, stargazers' dreams, alchemist schemes, things oft told of, divides to do us, for all is coaxing, merest hoaxing. With foolish stare they stand around. No faith have they in hidden prizes. Kobold and gnome one man survises. Another pirate. Another prates of the coal-black hound. What matter if sorry jokes one crack? Another at sorcerer's cantrips rail. If gout his feeling with twinges rack, and his tail beneath him quake and frail. Ye all the secret working feel of nature's ever-prominent power, and her living traces this very hour up upon her nethermost region steal. When every bone in your body grows sick, and a something uncanny stirs in the air, then courage to work with spade and pick. There lies the fiddler, the treasure is there. So, no. The illusion is to a superstition common in Germany that when people stumble, they're passing over a spot where a musician is buried, being affected, as certain sensitive people are said to be, on coming to the ground when under gold or other minerals lie. Huh. Neat. Although I do like, we got kobolds, gnomes, sorcerers, cantrips. It's all coming together. My feet are heavy as lead, that's gout. Cramps through my arms run in and out. Great toe burns, shoots that twitches. All over my back there are pains and stitches. By all these signs it would appear, there are heaps of riches, treasures here. Look sharp, I brook no more delay. Prove that your frothy flams are true, and bear these famous piles to view. Then sword and scepter I'll put away, and with my royal hands I will, if you lie not, the work fulfill. But if you lie, I'll pack you off to hell. The road there I, at least, should know right well. But, sir, words fail me adequate to tell what unowned wealth lies waiting everywhere. The boar, that through the furrow drives his share, turns up a crock of bullion with the mold. He hopes saltpeter hidden in the clay, and half in ecstasy, half in dismay, in his gaunt fingers finds rouleau of gold. But then the arches must be burst, the chasms, the shafts, through which he must, whose treasures wise, a passage thrust, to reach the wondrous world below. In spacious vaults, strong barred, untold plates, goblets, salvers, all of gold, he sees around him, row on row, where ruby-studded beakers stand, and, if he drink from them at hand, are fluids aged as the hills. The casks have long been turned to dust, but the wine tartare, if you'll trust, one who knows well their function fills. The essences of noble wine, as well as gold and jewels fine, themselves in gruesome night enshrine. 'Tis here the wise man, pray you mark, unwearily pursues his quest. To hunt by daylight were a jest, the home for mysteries is the dark. That may be so, gloom! What's the good of that? Things of true worth are sure to come to light. Who can detect a rascal in black night? Your cow in the dark is black, and grey your cat. These pitchers down below, crammed full of gold, do you plowshare to the light unfold? Take spade and pickaxe, dig yourself. The toil will make you great, mere peasants though it be, and presently, emerging from the soil, a herd of golden calves will struggle free. Then in your transports may you without check, yourself and your fair lady love bedeck, for lustrous gems give luster great, to beauty as well as the royal state. Dispatch, dispatch, how long are we to wait? Such urgent longing, pray sir, moderate. First finish off the motley masking show, and mind distract conducts not to the goal. We must to settled composure our soul, and earn by what's above what is below. Cane reference, pog! Sorry. Who would have thought good things must himself be good? Who would have joy must temper down his blood? Who would have wine must lay ripe clusters by? Who miracles his faith must fortify? This is just a D&D splat book. Literally. Yeah, the fiddle ghosts that trip you when you walk over him. Listen, I'm telling you, the earlier wizard battle with Mephistopheles is still in my brain. When I think of Faust, I think of the wizard battle. Then be the time in mirth and frolic spent, and welcomer be the coming Lent. Meanwhile, more merrily, whatever befall, we'll celebrate the roaring carnival. How merits coupled with success is what you fools can never be guessed. If they the wise man's stone possessed, with wisdom they would not be blessed. Suspicious. Oh, this is a really long one by comparison. What's the one after? Okay, so a fairly medium one. And then a short one. And then a really short one. And then another medium one. Okay, so I'm definitely not finishing this today. However, I can probably get through a decent bit of it. Yeah, I might have to stop after this really long one, scene 3. All we need is reference of the Godhead and all will be complete. Listen, we got D&D. We got Cain. We're already on our way to, like, get Lancer. We need one reference of castigation. It doesn't even need to be the Godhead. It just needs to be like, go back to your mother so she can castigate you. Finish it. So, this is now all in a masquerade. Expect not here, old German fancies, devils and fools and dead man's dances. A fete awaits your gay and bright. Our master, when he went to Rome, has for his profit your delight crossed the high Alps, and thence brought home to his far realm a royal right. There at the holy feet bowed down, that right he first devoutly sought, and while he went to fetch away his crown, away for us the full caps with him brought. Now we are all newborn, and every man to whom the world has been his school, o'er head and ears the cap with snugly pull, the air it gives him a crack-brained fool, and under it he plays sage as best he can. Already they break up, I see, some into pairs, some into groups, and in and out unceasingly the throngs of choral singers troops. Well, with its fooleries untold, the world is, as it was of old, a big fool, not to be controlled. Maids of Florence, by the splendor of your court drawn here, and here are we, and our tribute thus we render, docked in all our bravery. Woven into our nut-brown tresses, bright flowers manifold we bear, silken streamers, silken jesses, joined to prank it gaily there. For we hold it meritorious. For we hold it meritorious, and a thing to us make dear, that our flowers by art made glorious, bloom and blow through all the year. Sprays of every hue commingle. Sprays of every hue commingle. Sprays of every hue commingle, in symmetric order placed. You may slight them, taken single, but the mass contents your taste. Comely are we to the eye, as girls should be so gay and smart. We love gay and smart women! Comely are we to the eye, as girls should be so gay and smart, for the women's native bias closely is allied with art. Show your baskets richly frightened. Frightened? World of Darkness reference? Oh my gosh, we're already hitting more. Show your baskets richly freighted, those that on your heads are pressed, those with which your arms are weighted, let each choose what likes him best. Quick, till all with leaf and alley, semblance of a garden bears. Who but fain with such would dally, dealers lovely as their wares. Choose then, each at fancy gleaning, freely choose, and husker not. Tell in few words, full of meaning, every one what he hath got. Oh, these are about the different things. I'm like, why is an olive branch singing? Did we enter a Disney movie? Flowery broom I envy none, strife of every kind I shun. It doth with my nature jar, yet earth holds no gem nor fair. Pledge and token everywhere of peace and what its blessings are. Tonight, I hope, will be my place, some fair and worthy head to grace. Not more winning sweeteth attireth than the gifts by Ceres sent. But what man most for use desireth be your fairest ornament? Motley flowers resembling mallows strangely peep from mosses green. These are things that fashion hallows, though in nature never seen. What my name is to declare, Theophrastus. What my name is to declare, Theophrastus would not dare, yet I have my hope I shall please a many, if not all. She that in her hair will wind me, she that on her breast will bind me, shall, if with a will she do it, find she has no cause to rue it. Gaudy fancies let them flower, for the fashion of the hour, form and guises wondrous molded, such as nature ne'er unfolded. Golden bells and sprays of green, peering out flowing locks between, but we shrink from sight, happy who on us doth light. When the winds of summer blow, roses kindle then and glow. Who such happiness would miss? Promise then fulfillment. This is in the flora's realm the rule. Eye and sense and heart fed fully. They arrange their wares tastefully under green alleyways. I'm glad to know that it's tasteful. I was worried it wouldn't be tasteful. Thank you for, including that, Goth. If it was flowery blooms or flowery brooms, I would be much more able to say this. Flowery blooms, where you have placed them, charming your head adorn. So are fruits you will not scorn, they'll delight you if you taste them. Magnum, bonums, cherries, and peaches, dusky are of hue, but by, worst of judges is the eye. Trust what tongues or palate teaches. Let all come where, gladdening eyes and taste, the choicest fruits invite them. Men on roses poetize, apples they performance must bite. To the bounteous bloom of youth, grant us leave then to ally us, and our ripest wares and soothe shall on you be lavished by us. In alleys gay that wind about, in the shade of pleached bowers, you'll find all you want laid out, blossoms, foliage, fruit, and flowers. Accompanied by guitar and theorbores, the two choirs proceed to arrange their wares in rows in front of one another. So we have flowers and plants, and then we have fruit. I choose to believe all these passages are fae who live in these plants and ornaments. Listen, it didn't say the flower girls aren't fae. Oh, lass, when you first came to the light, a bonny wee hood I made ye. Your limbs were so lissome, your face so bright. You were quite a dainty lady. What a bride you'll make, to myself I said, with figure and face so sunny. And already I pictured you wooed and wed by a suitor with heaps of money. Oh no, Mom! But years they have come and have passed again, and alas, you are left on my hands still. For somehow or other than marrying men, sweep by you, and none of them stand still. No fault of yours, for with one you dance, and flirt it and foot it sprightly. On another you smile with a coy kind glance, and cling to his elbow tightly. Picnic or party, 'twas all the same, however we might devise them. Forfeits, third man, no kind of game, could into an offer surprise them. But all the fools are let loose today, and they're brimming with silly rapture. So dearest, your charms without stint display, and one of them you may capture. Girl, capital G girl playfellows, young and beautiful, join the group, and break out into a loud chatter of mutual confidences. Fishermen and bird catchers with nets, fishing rods, limed twigs, and other implements of their craft enter and mingle with the girls. Mutual attempts to attract attention, to catch, to escape, and to hold fast, give occasion for a pleasant interchange of talk and banter. Room, give place. We must have space. Trees we fell, down as we tear them. They crash into the dust, off as we bear them. Come push and thrust, this to our praise. Look what tell ye, we're no rough men to work the land. Where tell me, then, would you fine folks stand? This truth, forget it not. Stretch at your ease, for if we sweated not, you would all freeze. Punchinellos? Awkward, almost silly. Fools are ye hacks, born with bent backs, we the wise, who burden ne'er knew. For look ye, our caps, our jackets and flaps, we carry them lightly, gaily and sprightly. We, ever idle, saunter and sidle, slippers on feet, through market and street, there to stand gaping, crowding and japing, under the hubbub loud, through the thick thronging crowd. Eel-like we slip off, in a mass trip off, a rumpus to raise, whether you praise or whether you blame, 'tis to us all the same. Okay, why do they got bars? Me when I have to come up with a diss track, but I'm awkward and almost silly. Ye porters, stout of you, and their own brothers, you charcoal that burn, are the men for our turn. For bowing and scraping, assenting and smiling, find phrases shaping, obscure and beguiling, framed to blow hot or cold or whatnot, just the moment to please. What profit all these? Fire must be given straight out of heaven, in volume enormous, but how would it warm us? Had we no billet, no coal heaps to throw on our fireplace and fill it with gladdening glow, then the steaming and roasting, the stewing and toasting, the real gourmet, the liquor of dishes, scents the roast by the way, and surmises the fishes. This incites him to ply a robust fork and knife, when host says, come try, and he tackles to work. On this day shall be happy beyond all measure. I feel so jolly and free. Songs to delight you in holiday leisure. I have brought you along with me, and that's why I drink. Drink. Join glass to glass, boys, clink, clink. You behind there, come out to light. Strike your glass upon mine, all right. My wife, she jeered at this coat of motley, and railed as though she my ear would pull. She fleered and sneers till I felt it hotly, and called me a mumming, masking fool. But I drink all to that. Drink, drink. Let every glass ring, clink, clink. Ye masking mummers, come all unite. When them glasses go clink, all's right. Never say I'm cracked, for my boast is, I know when I want where to get my fill. If my host won't trust me, why, there's the hostess. And if she won't do it, the maiden will. So I drink at all times. Drink, drink. You fellows, they're up. Clink, clink. Join glass to glass. Keep it up all night. Things now, I've got a notion, are perfectly right. Leave things as they are, the joys they've made. What better could mortal wish to his hand? All right, let me lie here while I have laid me. Let me lie here where I have laid me, for now on my leg I can no more stand. Okay, but like, a drinking song that's just this, that even has the little chorus bit, and you just add like a backing track underneath it? Every good man, drink, drink. Drain your glasses, clink, clink. To bench and to board, stick while you are able. He's done for, the fellow there under the table. The herald announces poets of nature, court and ritter singers, bards sentimental and gushing. In the throng of competitors, no one will allow the other to obtain a hearing. One of them throws out a few words as he slips past. Know ye what were the sweetest thing? For me, a poet among poets here, this, were I free to say and sing, what none of them would all wish to hear. They send apologies because they are just at that moment engaged in a conversation with a vampire that has made its appearance recently. Out of the kind of new poetry may be developed, the herald has to accept their excuses and in the meantime summons the Greek mythology. Well, you just summoned Greek mythology. Like, I understand, yes, it's actors portraying Greek characters. I can't say I've ever heard summon the Greek mythology. Bring on the Greek mythology, please. Into life we carry grace. In your givings give it place. In receiving grace retain, sweet it is a wish to gain. And in days of thoughtful mood, let grace sweeten gratitude. Me, the eldest, have they wooed on. Here among you all to spin, much to think of, much to brood on, lies life's fragile thread within. That it may be pliant, tender, flax the finest still I choose, smooth to make it, even and slender, I shall deftest fingers use. Should the dance's joyous eddies, pulses all too quick awake, think how very frail this thread is, and be wary, it may break. Know of late years they confided unto me the shears of dread, for the way our elder piled it had its powers discredited. Spinning's worthless quite, she bore them through long years of life and bloom. Threads of promise rare she shore them, hurried to a timeless tomb. I myself made many a blunder in my young and headstrong years. Now to keep my rashness under, in its sheath I keep the shears. Gladly then my hands I fetter, kindly I your sports survey. In these hours of ease, what better than give mirth its fullest play? To me, whose judgment wavers never, was the task of order given, so my spindle, circling ever, never has been overdriven. Threads around and round its playing, I to each its path assign, none I suffer to go straying, all into the ball I twine. Could I pause, myself forgetting, for the worlds my heart would ache, days and years sink to their setting, she that weaves the skein will take. These that are coming now you will not know, how versed soever in ancient lore ye be, gazing on these, who work would worlds of woe, guests would you think them, men were glad to see. The Furies they, none they believe us, kind of comely presence, fair withal, and young, but fall into their hands, and you will find how serpent cruelly these doves have strung. Crafty they are, 'tis true, but nowadays, when every fool for failings craves renown, even they, not coveting as angels praise, own they're the plagues of country and town. What boots such talk? You'll trust us all the same, for we are pretty, young, and sweet coaxing dears. If you've swain has set your heart aflame, we'll go on pouring flattery in her ears. Till we dare tell him, eye to eye, his smiles for other men as well as him, that, if he's pledged his troth, he'd best beware, for she's a fool, crook-backed, and halt of limb. And we can make the lady wretched too. Some weeks ago her friend said slighting true. Some weeks ago her friend said slighting things of her to someone else. They may be, 'tis true, be reconciled. Still, we have left our strings. That's Do I do like the Megara voice from Hades, which is like, That's but a joke. I waited till they are wed, then set to work and poison such my powers. Bliss, when it seems more surely perfected. Men, they are changeful as the changing hours. Let what he yearned for once be over, all's over. His rapture cools, the prize its charm has lost. For something else he madly yearns still more. Flies from the sun and seeks to warm the frost. Asmodai here I bring, my henchman's true. Well does he work, my will is such affairs. Mischief broadcasts at the right time to stew. And so destroy the human race in pairs. Murder! 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 Poison, dagger, not backbiting. Mix eye, wet eye for the traitor. Lovest thou others, sooner or later, shalt thou feel destruction smiting. Turn to gall and wormwood must. What in sweetness was abounding. Here no bargaining, no compounding. Suffer as ye wrought, 'tis just. Let none say, forgive, forgive. To the rocks my plaint I bring. Hark, revenge! The echoes ring. Who betrays, he shall not live. I cast astrophysics! Please step a little back, you there behind, for what comes next is of no common kind. Onward a mountain works its way. You see, swathed on its flanks in gorgeous tapestry, long tusks, a snake-like trout. Its heads are on a mystery. But I'll show the key anon. Gracefully, on its neck, a fair girl rides, and with a slender staff its movement rides. Another stands above, a stately height, begirt with radiance dazzling to the sight. Two noble dames walk, chained on either side, one blithe and bright, one sad and sober-eyed. One yearns to be free, one feels that she is free. Yet each of those declare, who, what is she? Through this revel wild this light of lamps and torches flare about. Traitor faces throng my sight, and I, alas, in chains are bound. Hence, ye laughers, brainless loud, from the grin I shrink in fear. All that mean me mischief crowd, close tonight around me here. Here a friend has grown a foe. Here a friend has grown a foe. Read him through his mask I may. There is one would kill me, lo, and now found me, he slinks away. And how gladly would I fly through the wide world anywhere. Be destruction dogs me, I hang twixt darkness and despair. Hail, beloved sisters, hail! If these murmuring sports prevail here tonight, as yester even yet tomorrow, when well I ween, you will doff off your masking gear. If we find no special pleasure in the torch's flare, we shall anon in days of sunny leisure, with none to thwart us near. Now with others, now alone, roam at will by waters clear. Meads with bright flowers overgrown, living lives exempt from care, with nor want nor idleness there. Welcome guests wherever we go, in we pass with easy mind, for the best of cheer we know, somewhere we are sure to find. Two of men's worst foes are these, in chains I hold them, hope and fear. For the crowd they else would seize, you're saved, a pathway clears. I this live Colossus lead, through a tower is on his back, unfatigued with steady speed, see, he climbs the steepest track. But upon its summit, lo, Io, a goddess with wings swift and wide, waving lightly to and fro, as she turns to every side. Light plays round her, pure and glorious, sheds after a wondrous sheen. Victory is her name, victorious goddess of great deeds and queen. Way to introduce Faye girl boss OC Faust. Listen. This whole thing is just fanfic. Everything is fanfic when you get down to it. Zolio Thersites. This sounds like a Star Wars character. Like Zoilo Thersites sounds like a random rebel that it has like a triple 3-book trilogy dedicated to him, and he was integral to the transition period between like movie 4 and movie 5, and he has a tragic backstory where he was a firm supporter of the Empire until he got disillusioned because the Empire is not only evil but also ineffective. And so he goes on this whole journey where he was supposed to be Red 5 before Luke Skywalker took over, because he was going to be the replacement, but he wasn't quite good enough a pilot, so then he resents Luke Skywalker. But then he has a really cool rivalry with Luke Skywalker, and then he eventually earns his respect because he sees him as the continuation of the Jedi, and it's only when he finally respects his rival, he finally learns to appreciate his own position and skill set, which happens to be he's just one of the best demolitions experts in all of the rebellion. So he goes off on the Yavin mission, and on the Yavin mission he ends up dying, but not before he's the one that opens the door to do the thing on a separate location different from Han's mission. And That's the kind of character that Zoilothersites is. Zoilothersites, hero of the Galactic Alliance. What is he, Caiaphas Cain, hero of the Imperium? He fought Darth Zalbrong on Meinhof in the Imperial Resurgence novels. 10 out of 10 character arc. Okay, I wouldn't say he's a 10 out of 10 character arc. I'd say he's like an 8 out of 10. And I think that it's not that he needed more screen time. I think it's that the screen time he did needed to be addressed in other material. Like, he did a lot of cool stuff. However, it's not referenced in any of the like original movies or the mainline story. And Luke never references him, despite the fact that he is canonically Luke's first same-sex kiss. And he had a lot of mixed feelings about it. Like, that's never brought up. So if that was brought up, I'd say it's like a 10 out of 10, but this is kind of like Erasure. Like, they had a really steamy, like, rivals to lovers thing going on, and like, it got cut short. It got cut short because like Zoilo died, but like Luke always remembered his time on the moons of Yavin when it was just the two of them far away from the rebel base. Like, that's Zoilothersites. That's Zoilothersites. I come, though no one calls. Fools that you are, I chide you all. But what I chiefly will not spare is Madame Victory up there. With her white wings, she fancies she an eagle at the least must be, and that, where'er she looks or stirs, country and people both are hers. But let some field of fame be won, and straight my fighting gear I don, when high turns low and low turns high, the crooked straight, the straight awry. People thought it was just subtext. People thought, like, Zoilothersites wasn't actually gay. They thought it was just like, oh, like, this is like, they said it was just CPR. However, if you remember his internal monologue, he was thinking at that time, the crooked straight, the straight awry. All I'm saying, you're writing this pen. Then, only then I feel a glow. All through the globe I'd have things so. Then, thou vile cur, the swashing blow of my good staff on thee I lay. Now crawl and wriggle as you may. That's what Luke was telling Zoilothersites too. Now quickly has the dwarfish elf up in a bundle rolled himself. The ball becomes an egg. Oh wonder! Puffs itself out and bursts asunder. Out comes a strange twin growth quite pat. An adder one and one a bat. One crawls off in the dust, his brother. Up to the roof flies like a bird. Outside they'll shortly join each other. There I've no wish to make a third. Yeah, Luke also said, I don't want to make a third when it's just you and me, Zoilo. Taps fingers together. And like, it would have been cute, it would have been canon, but Zoilo axed him. Dwarfish elf is the most brutish thing you can call someone. Oh my gosh. Come on, they're dancing there behind. No, to be off I have mind. Do you not feel about how all about us flits the ghost and goblin rout? Now they swish above my hair, about my feet I feel them there. None have been hurt in flesh or bone, but all are into a panic thrown. This sport is wholly spoiled, but this was what these monsters wished I was. Alright, wise? I don't know. Since unto me the herald's task has been entrusted for our mask, I watch the door with anxious care, lest aught amiss should unaware into our festive circle steal. Nor terror for myself I feel, for much I fear the airy cruise of ghosts may slip through windows. But much I fear. No terror for myself I feel, but much I fear the airy cruise of ghosts may slip through the windows through, nor could I, if with you they mix, protect you from their wizard tricks. The dwarf looked ominous to begin, and now a swarm comes pouring in. What every figure means, am I in duty bound to signify. But how may I expound to you what is to me a mystery too? To clear things up, assist me all. What's this? Winds yonder through the hall? A gorgeous chariot sweeps along, drawn by a team of four in hand, and yet it does not part the throng. I see no crowd about it stands. Far off with many colored beams, it shines while flitting round it gleams, the light of many a starry zone. As from a magic lantern thrown, on it, on, it snorts with sudden force. Room there, I shudder. Stay your course, ye coursers, fold your wings, obey the bridle's well-accustomed sway. Rein in yourselves while I reign, while I incite, dash on amain. Unto these halls do honor show, look how the people row on row. Keep gathering round with pondering eyes, speak, herald, speak in proper wise. Before we go our names to tell, for and who and what we are as well. For we are allegories, so ah, yes. Every time I enter a room, I say, I am an allegory. So us you are clearly bound to know. Name you I cannot. Easier far it were to paint you as you are. Essay it then. That you are fair and young withal, one must declare. A boy half grown, yet woman fain would see you fully grown. 'Tis plain you'll prove in time a pretty rake, and with the sex rare havoc make. What? Is this like a nascent Giga Chat? Is this like a 16-year-old who like already like has a glass jaw, like a jaw that can cut glass? Is that what this is? Harold, you're making some sussy comments. I don't know what you're saying. Not badly said. Proceed and see if of the riddle you can find the key. Dark flashing eyes, locks black as night, and there a jeweled circlet mid the blackness glowing. A robe that falls in graceful folds you wear, down from the shoulders to the buskins flowing, with purple hem and fringe of tissue rare, rail at you for a girl when fairly might, yet even now for weal or woe, you'd be for, oh wait no, it's just like a very feminine man. So it's a boy, like a teenager, who is feminine enough to be mistaken for a grown woman. Understood. Yet even now, for weal or woe, you'd be for girls themselves an object of delight. They'd give you lessons in love's ABC. And he, the stately form that gleams enthroned this car of mine within, a very king, rich, mild he seems, whose grace it were rare luck to win. Naught's left for him to wish for here, quick to descry what aught is wanting. Wealth, state, to him are far less dear than the pure joy of giving, granting. To stop with this will no avail, you must describe in more detail. What's worthiest words never draw, but the broad, healthy visage, fine, full mouth, the cheeks of ruddy hue that neath the jeweled turbans shine, his flowing vestments' rich array. What of his bearing shall I say? In him one used to rule, I see. Plutus, the god of wealth, is he. He comes himself in regal state. The emperor needs of him's great. Now of yourself, the what and how proclaim. I am profusion. Posey is my name. The poet I, who works to noble ends, with his best wealth he most profusely spends. Rich beyond measure, too, I am, and dare myself in this with Plutus to compare. To dance and revel I give charm and soul, and what he lacks dispense without control. This vaunt becomes you well, but we some of these arts of yours would see. I snap my fingers, there am Io. I can't tell, is this and lo or and Io? Because Io is another Greek god. I snap my fingers and there lo, around the car with gleam and glow, out leaps a string of pearls. And here are golden clasps for throat and ears, combs too, and heaps of diadems, and rings ablaze with rarest gems. Small flames too, here and there I scatter. Kindle or not, is no great matter. How these good people snatch and rush, the giver's self they almost crush. 'Tis like a dream, the way gems fly, off from his fingers far and right. But lo, another juggling sleight, a sorry prophet gets the white. From what so eagerly he clutched, the gift slips off as soon as touched. The pearls unstring themselves, and all about his hand cockchafers crawl. He shakes them off, poor fool, and straight they buzz and flutter round his pate. What others thought solid prize, turns into flighty butterflies. For all his promises so fine, the knave gives only golden shine. Masks, I observe, you indicate full well, but to proclaim what lives within the shell is no part of a herald's courtly task. That doth a keener incite ask. But wrangle I abhor, my lord, and kind to thee I turn my speech in questioning. Didst not to me, their course to guide, this fourfold fiery team confide? Drive I not well, thou standest over me? Do I not reach the goal thou set before me? Have I not know, with daring sweep, the palm for thee to win and keep? Often for thee as I have fought, when have I ever failed? And now if the proud laurel decks thy brow, have not my brains and hands the chaplet wrought? If need there be that I tribute pay, soul of my soul art thou, I gladly say. Thy acts are echoes of my mind and heart. Far, far more wealthy than myself thou art. As guerdon for thy service, I rate the bays more high than all my crowns of state. Then hear me all aloud declare my mind. My darling son, in thee great joy I find. The greatest gift my hand shakes out, see, I sent them all about. On this and now on yonder head, a flamelet glows, which I have shed. For one it to another leaps, slips off from this by that it keeps. Now here and there it shoots on high, and flames of short-lived brilliancy, but with the most burns sad and low, and then goes out before they know. Fold your wings to the same energy as chain your legs to this rock. Oh my gosh. The man up yonder on his feet, beyond all question is a cheat. Crouching behind him is Hanswurst, but so by thirst and hunger wasted low, as never Hanswurst was before. Pinch him, he will not feel it sore. Avaunt, ye odious womankind! A Redditor? They let a Redditor into this place? Avaunt, ye odious womankind! I know I'm never to your mind, whilst dames their household overhauled, that I was of virtue called, then flourished in our home's content, for much came in, or out nothing went. My care was all for chest and bin. Folks tell us now, this was a sin. But as the wife's in these last days has quite given up those saving ways, and as all evil payers are, has more desires than cash by far. Her husband has a deal to bear, debts crowd upon him everywhere. All that she earns by spinning goes in treating swains, or in fine clothes. Richly she feeds, drinks largely too, with paramours, a baleful crew. So on gold's charms I fondlier feed, and now turn masculine. I am greed. The best goblin. What? No, not a goblin. Why is Hans worst on display? Because this is German. Like, listen. He can have his best on display, he can have his worst on display. It's German. What do you want? Dragon with dragon may pinch and spare. This is all lying, juggling stuff. He comes to rouse the men, and they're already troublesome enough. The scarecrow box his ears. What dare to threaten us? And if he could grown women with his rubbish scare, the dragons are but paste and wood. Come, let's go at him, squeeze and tear. This crowd of women is just going to tear apart the embodiment of greed. What the heck? Now, by my staff, keep order there, yet for my help their scarce is need. See how the monsters grim unfurl, as swift the flying crowds recede. Great wings that round them wave and swirl, the dragons snort and gnash in ire, their scaly jaws outbelching fire. The crowd has fled, the place is clear. How kingly all his movements are, the dragons at his nod near draw, as his nod draw near, they lift the coffer from the car, and gold and greed on it appear. There at his feet it stands, but how the thing was done I marvel now. Now, from the charge that all too heavy lay on thee, thou art free, to thine own sphere away. Here it is not, wild, tawdry, full of din, is the fantastic world here he hems us in. Only where thou, through clear, untroubled air, lookest with untroubled eye, there, only there, what not delights thee but the good, the fair, art thou myself canst move with soul elate, to solitude then go, there thine own world create. Such as an envoy still myself I prize, charged with a noble mission from above, so thee, as bound to me by nearest ties, of kindred and of sympathy I love. Wherefore, where thou art, there is plenty, and where I, all feel their souls enriched, their pulse beat high, oft time from side to side men's thoughts incline. Shall they to thee or me themselves resign? Thy votaries may in idleness rest. It is true, but mine have always endless work to do, nor may I work in secret and in shade. Let me but breathe, at once I am betrayed. Farewell, thou grantest what in bliss to me, but back again I at a word will be. This is written to be hostile to read. This is written to not be pleasant to read. Farewell, thou grantest what is bliss to me, but back again I at a word will be. Now it is time to set the treasures free. When the herald's rod I strike the bolts, and lo, the chest flies open. In steel cauldrons see, red golden blood heaves, bubbling to and fro. Hard are by ornaments, ring, chain, and crown. It swells as 'twould engulf and melt them down. Oh, hi, Mark. I mean, Canaan. Or not Kane, Canaan. Arrowlins covers both arrow gremlining and arrow goblining. I don't think I do either. Greed being torn apart by a crowd of women must have inspired that Monty Python sketch. Oh my gosh. Arrow jousts with tongue twisters. I have been doing a great job up until that particular moment. See here, see there, how treasures brim. The chest is full up to the rim. Vessels of gold melt down, and whole rouleaux of gold by dozens roll. Ducats leap out, new minted, bright. Oh, how my heart leaps at the sight. All it desired I see and more. There they go sprawling on the floor. They're offered to you, quick, on them swoop. If you'd be rich, you've but to stoop. We, quick as lightning, shall the great chest to ourselves appropriate. What would ye, fools? Are you possessed? 'Tis but a masquerading jest. Tonight we look for nothing more. Think you we'd give you gold galore? Why, truly, on occasion such, counters for you are quite too much. Blockheads. With you a quaint device grows facts substantial in a trice. What's fact to you? You, always fain to flounder in delusions vain? Oh, Plutus, send this rabble rout, I pray thee, to the right about. Handy for your staff would be, for some few moments lend it me. I dip it to the red heat. There, and now ye maskers have a care. What's sparkling, sputtering in the pot? The staff's already fiery hot. Whoever comes too near shall be scorched by it quite remorselessly. Look out, now is my round begin. Oh woe, we're all undone. Let him escape who may. You there, behind, back, I say. Hot sparks fly out into my face, and on the red hot staff falls heavy. We're all in each a piteous case. Back, ye masquerading bevy. Back, till madness to come tonight. Oh, had I wings, away I'd fly. Back hath the surging throng been thrust, and no one has been hurt, I trust. In sheer dismay, the crowd give way. Still, as a guarantee for order, we will draw a circle none can see. 'Twas nobly done, a power so sage, as thine must Twas nobly done, a power so sage, as thine must my best thanks engage. Still, friend, be patient, there will be tumult in plenty presently. A man may round him here with pleasure glance, if meetings of this kind his fancy suit, for women always are well in advance, when there be shows or junketing on foot. I'm not quite used up, not quite pumped dry, I feel like a pretty woman with the breasts. And as tonight it cost me nothing, I will go a-wooing with a special zest. Yes, as, in such a crowd as we have here, all that one says must fail to reach the ear. I'll try, and as I hope to, with success, in pantomime my meaning to express. Hand, foot, and gesture will not do alone, so I must try some cantrip of my own. I'll treat the gold as though 'twere moistened clay, for we may turn this metal any way. The meager fool, where's he at? Humor is a scarecrow like that. Humor in a scarecrow like that? The gold, he kneads it into dough. Soft 'neath his fingers it doth grow. But squeeze, and turn it how he will, the mass remains quite shapeless still. He to the woman turns, but they all scream and try to get away, and show he'll never be in their books. There's mischief in the rascal's looks. I fear his licorice tooth he'll sate, though he decorum violate. Not to speak out were sore offense. Give me my staff, to drive him hence. He dreams not of what coming dangers loom. Let him pursue his pranks a little longer. For hid mad capers there will be no room. Though law be strong, necessity is stronger. There's even more characters. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's even more characters. Nymphs mentioned, let's go. Fauns, satyrs, nymphs, etc. in attendance upon Pan, heralding his approach. From mountain height and forest dell, the Cravage crew shout and yell, sweep on and stay them, no one can. They celebrate their mighty Pan, they know what no one else know, and fling themselves into the vacant ring. You and your mighty Pan, I know you well. How bold the step you've taken here can tell. Full well I know what's none to none beside. So throw out narrow bounds here open wide. Good luck attend you even to overflowing. Great marvels may anon befall. They know not whither they are going. They have not looked ahead at all. Ye butterflies with gewgaws decked, a rough and rugged hand expect. With leaps and bounds they come apace, a stalwart and a steady race. We fawns and we dance merrily, oak wreaths we wear in our crisped hair, and out through curly head and ear, sharpened to finest point doth peer. Our noses are stumpy, our faces flat, but we lose not woman's goodwill for that. The fairest she, if a fawn advance, his paw will scarcely refuse to dance. The satyr next come bounding in, with hoof and goat and wizened shin, but sinewy of course and thin, to gaze around from mountain's height, like the wild chamois him delight. Here in the free air bounding wild, he views with scorn man, women, and child, who, mid the values low, smoke and steam, deem fondly they are living too, whilst he unlettered and supreme, reigns soul that upper region too. Pygmy, troop come tripping now, not 2 by 2, but anyhow, in moss garb with lamplets lit. Swiftly they each through other flit, each working himself, and so they swarm like fireflies to and fro. Now here, now there, and all intent upon the task where they're bent. To the good people, near related, and rock cheerguns celebrated, we cap the lofty hills, we drain the ore from every teeming vein. Good luck, as greeting cheers us, while the metal up in heaps we pile. 'Tis all meant for a worthy end. All truly good men we befriend. Yet gold we let reveal, that men might pimp with it and steal to tyrants proud be lent, who are on wholesome murder bent. There are these commandments who shall slight, of all the rest makes very light. But this is not our fault, so you should have, like us, forbearance too. Wild men we are called, and strange to none who know the Hartsburg range. Of giant bulk and clad and strong, as men of yore we tramp along. A pine tree stem in our right hand, around our loins a padded band, with a leaf and bow for apron barred. The Pope has no such bodyguard. He too comes here, all unto man in this earth's sphere, is image clear in mighty Pan. Ye merriest of heart advance, and round him wheel in joyous dance. For being grave but also good, he'd have men be of cheerful mood. Even neath the azure vaulted sky, he watches with unsleeping eye, but brooks for him low murmurs keep, and soft winds cradle him to sleep. And when at noon he gins to drowse, stirs not a leaf upon the boughs. Plants, breathing health from fairest bloom, on the hushed air exhale perfumes. The nymphs disport no more, but where she stood, drops off in slumber there. But if, by sudden anger stirred, his voice, his mighty voice is heard, like thunder or wild ocean swell, which way to fly no man can tell. Brave hosts are scattered in dismay, and heroes quail in mid-melee. Then honor give where honors due. Hail him who led us here to you. Where rich shore lies and brightly shining through rocky fissures like thread-like steels, the rod alone by its divining, the labyrinthine maze reveals. In troglodytic fashion now, our home in sunless caves we make, and in the sunshine pure dost thou deal treasures for us to take. Hard by us to have revealed a vein of wondrous breadth and scope, which promises which ease to yield, what to attain we scarce might hope. To make it sure thou hast the power, then subject it to thy commands. To all mankind a priceless dower grows ever treasure in thy hands. All base misgivings we must cast away, and with composure meet come what may. Erst thou hast shown a firm, courageous soul, but something terrible will soon fall out, that present time and after time will doubt, so write it duly in thy protocol. The dwarves lead great Pan soft and slow, to where the font of fire doth glow. It seethes up from the abyss below, then down to depths unseen sinks back, and grim to wide mouth stands in black. Again fierce flames flash out on high, the great Pan stands complacent by, joyous to see such wondrous sight, and pearl foam sparkles left and right. How can he trust himself so near? He stoops into the chasm to peer, and now his beard falls in, and he with chin so smooth, who may he be? His hand conceals his face from view. Now doth a great mishap ensue. The beard takes fire, flies back again, and wreathed head, breast all blaze up too. So joy is turned to fear and pain. The crowd rush to his aid, but none escape the spreading flame, not one. And as they flash and dart about, fresh fire on every hand breaks out, while netted in the burning maze, a troop of maskers is ablaze. But hark! A cry that scatters fear, from mouth to mouth, from ear to ear. O night! With the endless sorrow fraught, on us what anguish hast thou brought? Tomorrow's dawn with tidings bring, that every heart with grief shall ring. Still, from all sides I hear the cry, the Emperor's in agony! Too true, alas, the news unmeet, the Emperor's burning, and his suite. Accursed be they beguiled him, wound with leaves and resinous branches around, in roistering guise to brawl it here, and spread disaster far and near. O youth, youth! Wilt thou never draw around these joys of a prudent line? O greatness, wilt thou ne'er with law and reason boundless power combine? Now to the wood the flames have spread, their forked tongues shoot high o'erhead, and round the wooden rafters play, naught can but the conflagration stay. Brimmed in the measure of our grief, I know not who may bring relief. Imperial splendor, rich and bright, sinks down to ashes in a night. Nymphs and satyrs, Eros' mortal foe. I lost track of what's happening a long time ago. Listen, this entire chapter has just been references. It has just been allegories. And yes, I understand it's like, oh, it's all representative of the larger story at hand, and it's just representative of the fact that Faust and the story surrounding it is all about mythological creatures, and like it's a tragedy. Sorry to sneeze. It's a story about mythology and mythological creatures, but like it's really not. It's just about one dude simping over a woman so hard that he gets the devil involved and sells his soul, and then he like doesn't even get with her in the end. She dies because he stabbed her brother. Like, I don't know. Enough of terror and dismay. Now let help come into play. Strike, staff of power, until the ground quake and reverberates the sound. The wide and mantling air, fill full thyself with breeze blowing cool. Teeming streaks of vaporous mist, come and round us coil and twist. Close the fiery firmament over, cloudlets drizzling, dropping, drenching, dew distilling gently hover, everywhere the danger quenching, turning by your soothing might, flames now laden with affright, into harmless rosy light. When spirits threaten us with ill, 'tis time to use our magic skill. Holy heck. It's been an hour and a half, and that's kind of where I said I was gonna wrap up. I am not feeling up to doing another one. Gosh, because I have stuff to do. I have other responsibilities I need to do, and that one took like 45 minutes. Arrow squeak. I didn't squeak. Arrow did not squeak. No. Shut up. How dare you? Understandable. Yeah, so I have a pretty strict time limit. And like I need to be done by 1, so I could do one more. But let's look at this. In part 2, I have Act 1, Act 2, and I just finished Spacious Hall. So I just did the first 3 scenes of Act 1. The next stream I can probably do... Actually, I might need 2 more streams for this. Yeah. So next stream, I'll probably finish Act 1. And then the stream after that, I'll probably wrap up Act 2 and the remaining scenes, assuming that they're not super long. Because I think the classical Walpurgis Night won't be that long. Completed in Volume 8. Does Faust keep going? Oh, Faust does keep going. Oh, okay. I didn't realize. Not listed in the original act and scene divisions according to the text. Okay, so I have multiple acts then. Got it. So I have a couple more weeks of Faust left. I have a couple more streams of Faust left. Weighs nothing but for easy pickup and squeakage. No. I don't squeak. How dare you? Anyway, no reading stream next week. I'm actually gonna go pick up family. that's why I'm busy today. There's no stream tomorrow, no stream on Friday, but there will be a stream on Wednesday, and there should be a stream on next Saturday. So basically, we're missing this week's Saturday stream, we're missing next week's Friday stream. Expect a lot of highlights, like stream clips, and expect a couple meme voiceovers. I'll probably get a Making a Mega Dungeon done next weekend, and I might, depending on if I'm feeling funky, I might... No, I can't promise like a Lancer frame. Like I might do a Lancer frame. I might sneak one in there, but I'll probably just take it easy. I'll probably just do stream highlights. I'll probably just do meme voiceovers. But that being said, enjoy your day, night, evening, morning, whenever. If you're a VOD watcher, thank you so much. If you were a participant, thank you for swinging by. Otherwise, I will let you go and have a lovely, lovely day or time, I suppose. And I will continue Faust in 2 weeks, but otherwise, I will next go live on Wednesday.